Not long ago, a woman in her 70s told me her legs swelled by evening. Sock marks pressed deep, her knees argued on the stairs, her face looked more tired than she felt. It wasn't only appearance, it was independence, shrinking. Many of you know that feeling: puffiness under the eyes, heavy calves after a short walk, ankles that leave imprints from shoes. On the surface it looks like age. Underneath, a quieter story is unfolding. Collagen slowly thinning, tissues losing their spring, and blood struggling to return uphill. When the body's internal scaffolding weakens, tiny valves in the veins falter. Fluid lingers. The day grows heavier than it should. The surprising turn most people miss is that your plate can nudge this story in a better direction. In Japan, elders still bicycle to markets in their 80s. It isn't luck or magic, it's rhythm. Warm bowls, simple fish, seaweed, slow, unhurried eating. We even teach it to children, shuiku, food education, because nourishment is a skill like reading. Meals there look modest, but they're targeted. Cuts that release natural gelatin into broth, skin-on fish rich in collagen and omega-3s, fermented soups where living cultures tune the gut so nutrients are actually used. The result is posture that stays proud and steps that still feel steady. When you keep your meals simple, warm, and purposeful, you quietly protect the very tissues that hold you together. Collagen isn't a vanity molecule, it's structure. It braces blood vessels so they stay elastic. It pads cartilage so knees glide instead of grind. It supports tendons so they spring instead of sting. When collagen holds, circulation flows. When it slumps, pressure pools around the ankles, calves throb, and stairs become enemies. The fix is not chasing a miracle jar, it's feeding the matrix from the inside, steadily, with textures your body recognizes: silky broths, crisped fish skin, slow stews that deliver amino acids your tissues have been waiting for. Quick check. Are you a soup person or a grill person? I'm curious which one you'll lean on this week. Start with what most people throw away, the soft cartilage from chicken joints and feet simmered long and low until the liquid turns clear. Gold and softly wobbles when cool. In Japan, it's ordinary, not odd. That gelatin comes from collagen dissolving into the broth, bringing along glycine and proline, the exact building blocks your joints and vessels use to repair. I once suggested 2 bowls a week to a retired teacher who felt her knees hesitate with every step. 3 months later, she wasn't sprinting marathons, but her evenings felt lighter and her morning walks went farther before the knees spoke up. That's the point with these foods. The change is gentle, then undeniable. A pot, some water, a handful of wings or feet, ginger if you like, and time. This is the kind of medicine you can sip. Now, picture a piece of salmon or mackerel sizzling in a pan, skin side down, the edges curling, the surface turning crisp. In many kitchens, the skin is peeled and binned. In ours, it's the prize. Fish skin is dense with type 1 collagen, the same fiber that keeps skin smooth and vessels elastic, and it rides in with omega-3 fats that calm the low, slow irritation that stiffens joints. Keep the skin on when you grill or slip the fillet into a light broth with a strip of kelp. Let the skin stay attached and soften into the soup. What your tongue reads as comfort, your tissues read as parts and tools. You eat, and the frame quietly repairs itself. Every morning in countless Japanese homes, someone lifts a bowl of miso soup. Fermented soybean paste dissolves into warm water and wakes up the gut with live cultures that help you extract more from every bite. Within miso is glycine, the same calming amino acid that supports collagen production and steadies the nervous system. Into that broth goes wakame, a seaweed bright with magnesium and potassium that encourage fluid balance instead of swelling. I watched a gentleman recovering from a stroke add one habit, miso with wakame each morning, and a month later the tightness in his calves had softened. No drama, no miracle claim, just the compounding of small, smart routines. Sip slowly. Feel the warmth from tongue to chest. Your circulation hears it. As evenings grow cooler, a different pot takes the stage. Tendon slowly coaxed into tenderness. People hear tendon and think tough. Give it time and it becomes silk. As it yields, the broth thickens lightly without flour or cream. That's collagen leaving the fibers to greet your spoon. Add thick coins of daikon radish as it bubbles. Daikon brings a clean, peppery sweetness and its own gentle, soothing compounds that pair beautifully with the stew. A man in his 60s once told me his long walks ended with knees that barked. He committed to tendon night, once a week, patient with the simmer. Months later, he laughed that his knees felt younger than his birth certificate. That's the right kind of joke. There's a hidden layer inside every eggshell, thin, almost invisible, that farmers and grandmothers once saved, dried, and powdered. It's the eggshell membrane, naturally carrying collagen and hyaluronic acid, the same combination that helps hold moisture in the skin and cushion in the joints. If you explore this path, do it cleanly. Thoroughly wash shells, peel the inner membrane, dry it completely, and grind fine. Or choose a reputable prepared membrane meant for food. A pinch stirred into porridge or melted into soup won't transform you overnight. It will quietly add to the daily supply of materials your tissues use to patch and polish themselves. Think of it like sweeping the kitchen every day. No one applauds, but everything stays easier. Then there's the food the Japanese call the broom of the intestines, konnyaku, or konjac. It's a springy, almost glassy jelly made from a humble root, and it carries so much soluble fiber that it slows the rush of a meal and helps usher waste along. When the gut moves cleanly, inflammation chills, nutrients absorb more reliably, and the collagen you just ate actually reaches the places that need it. You'll see konnyaku nestled in stews like oden beside daikon and fish cakes, quietly soaking up flavor while it does its work. Cube it for soups, slice it thin for stir-fries, or simmer it to take on a broth's personality. Longevity is rarely one miracle ingredient. It's the way simple foods cooperate. If you lay these choices into a week, it becomes practical. Pick 2 broth days, perhaps Sunday and Wednesday, when a pot hums on the stove and the house smells honest. Choose 2 fish nights where the skin stays on the fillet and turns crisp at the edges. Keep miso and wakame as a morning ritual most days. It takes 3 minutes once the kettle sings. Let one evening be tendon night, patient and fragrant, with daikon catching the stew's richness. Slip konnyaku into whatever you're simmering whenever you remember. Repeat. That's it. The rhythm matters as much as the ingredients. The body trusts what it sees often. A few guardrails keep results clean. Salt loves to sneak in. Taste your broths before you reach for the shaker, because miso and soy already bring plenty. Choose fish that smells like the sea, not the dock. Use bones and joints from sources you'd happily serve to a friend. If you're on thyroid medication, blood thinners, or have kidney concerns, talk with your clinician before changing seaweed or broth habits. Simple and traditional is still smart and personal. And remember warmth. A warm bowl tells tight vessels to relax. It tells a guarded stomach to receive. It tells a busy mind to pause long enough for the body to do its quiet work. People sometimes ask if this is just cultural romance. I think of a 94-year-old woman in a rural town who still cooked her own lunch and walked to the garden every afternoon. When I asked for her secret, she shrugged. I eat slowly, always warm food. No powders, no complicated rules, just a small repeated kindness to her tissues. The modern world rushes us toward bigger, faster, louder. Collagen and circulation prefer steadier, warmer, simpler. And that steadiness shows up in places you can feel. The ring that slides off at night instead of grabbing, the socks that leave fainter marks, the knees that take one more block before complaining, the face that looks like you slept well even when you didn't. Now take a breath and picture your next 7 days. Can you imagine 2 bowls of golden broth sliding into that calendar? Can you let the fish keep its skin twice? Can you keep a jar of miso on the counter as a promise to your morning self? These aren't punishments, they're invitations. Each one says to your body, I'm building you back on purpose. And the body, relieved, uses what you've given, tiny stitches in the background, small repairs on lunch breaks, the kind of maintenance that doesn't trend but keeps a life expansive. Where are you watching from today? I love seeing where this community is tuning in. Drop your city in the comments. And while you're there, tell me which of these foods you'll try first. I read those notes and they shape what we make next. If you try the broth and your stairs feel easier, say so. It might be the nudge someone else needs. If the crisp fish skin won you over, admit it. You're in good company. Aging doesn't have to be a slide. It can be a stance. Strong, warm meals that respect the body's design give back freedom. The freedom to tie your shoes without thinking about it, to step off a curb without bracing, to see your face in the mirror and feel like the person behind it. None of this asks for an overhaul. It asks for a rhythm you can hum, simmer, sip, breathe, repeat. Keep it gentle, keep it warm, and let the weeks do what a single day can't. If this felt helpful, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. We're building a library of small, powerful habits here, and I want you to have every one. Until then, keep your bowls warm, your steps steady, and your spirit curious. The body remembers kindness. Give it something simple to remember today. Vital signs, clear, practical health stories for living stronger after 60.